Tesla just released something very cool in my country, in Norway, and it's also available in multiple European countries. It's the Tesla MultiPass. And you might recognize this keycard. This is of course the Tesla keycard, but you can now use it to pay at third-party chargers. Something that's been available in Europe for quite a while is the ability to pay with RFID chips on chargers. So that's before we even got app activation. So first we got RFID chips, then app activation, and now credit cards. So now we have the ability to use whatever we want at most of the chargers. But Tesla just released something really cool, and I'm going to explain why it is so useful, so great. There are many things about it. I'm also going to tell you how to set up Tesla MultiPass. It's the perfect backup solution for a Tesla owner to have while road tripping around Europe. Tesla MultiPass is literally an RFID chip built into your Tesla keycard, and this is made possible by the roaming agreement between charge point operators in Europe, which are legally mandated that it should be somewhat open to everyone. So that's why you can use multiple charging apps over multiple providers usually in Europe. That's the same type of idea, but here Tesla is the operator, so everything goes through the Tesla app. You don't need any other apps as a Tesla owner. You just need a Tesla app. You add the keycard to MultiPass, and suddenly you can charge your Tesla account with charging at third-party chargers. This is so easy. So we are going to go to a charger right now to try it out and see if it works. It would be nice if the process is smooth, of course. That's what I wish for. A downside is that you will always pay drop-in or ad hoc prices. That means prices without a membership. So for example, if this works at, let's say it works at Ionity. I haven't checked where it works either. I'm just going to run around to some chargers and test, and also try to figure out how you can find out which chargers work. Anyway, yeah, so you will pay the full price every time you use the Tesla MultiPass, but I see this as a backup solution for Tesla owners that primarily use the Tesla supercharger network. But then you have the ability to just go to whatever charger you want, scan your Tesla card and start the charging without downloading a new app, because this works over many providers with just a simple activation in the Tesla app. It works over multiple providers, and I think that's a quality of life thing for Tesla owners to have the ability to just start a charger. Sometimes that's more important than the price of the charger, just getting the charge, especially when you are outside the Tesla supercharger network. Okay, so we are at a third-party charger. This operator is Mer, one of the larger providers in Norway and also multiple European countries right now. So we will take our Tesla card and see if it works here. I have, of course, already signed up in the app. It works perfectly fine. So that was as smooth as you would expect something like that to be. You just plug in the car, you scan the RFID, and it works. This charger didn't have a credit card reader. It's important to note that even a credit card is kind of more cumbersome. I want to check if I have the receipt in the Tesla app, because that's also a major benefit for businesses to have all the receipts in one place. So yeah, the RFID is actually usually much faster than the credit card authentication, talking with the credit card operator and stuff back and forth. It's faster with the RFID stuff. So that's also a benefit. So let's actually check the Tesla app and see if we got any receipts. Ebony. Let's test. I've checked the Tesla app and it confirms that we are getting receipts, which is fantastic. That's amazing, because as a business owner, This is great because you can get all the receipts in one place. So if you drive around and you charge your Tesla, you don't need to look around for receipts, get the app to get receipts. Every receipt is in the Tesla app. But I do notice that the receipt is in euros, which is not the currency in Norway, which is a little bit strange. Maybe that's due to being able to roam all around Europe, that maybe everything on the Tesla MultiPass is in euros. Not sure, but we seem to be paying the same kind of fee. So does it really matter? Not sure. Okay, so now we are at the ST1 station that you can see the logo of right there. ST1 is a large new charge point operator in Norway. At least the name is new. So let's see if it works there. And after that, I'll explore the map a little bit, because I think I figured out how to find stations that are compatible with the Tesla MultiPass. I think I found out how to view the Tesla MultiPass chargers that are available. So you go here and you go to navigation. Sorry that it's in Norwegian. I don't bother to change it around now because it doesn't really matter. You go down to the bottom of navigation setting and you see third-party charging stations and you turn it on. Once you do that, you have access to many more chargers than the red ones, which are Tesla superchargers, and then you can see all the gray ones here are third-party chargers that I assume is compatible with the Tesla MultiPass. So what I want to do now is to actually verify that. So we have a Circle K station. We haven't been at Circle K yet. So let's drive over to the Circle K station and see if that works. There is 1 of 9 available. So unfortunately it doesn't work at ST1, which again is a newer provider, at least the name is newer. It has nothing to do with the hardware, it just needs to have a RFID scanner, and it did have a RFID scanner, so not sure, maybe it's not enabled something, maybe it's something that Tesla can add in the future. I assume they will add more and more providers as we move along, so that's just something we have to wait for and see if Tesla actually adds multiple more providers. So here we have a case of the chargers showing in the navigation, but they didn't work. So Circle K in Norway didn't work. I tried the Alpitronic unit, then I tried the older, I believe it's a FSEC unit. It's an older 50 kilowatt unit, and it didn't work there either. So that means that most likely Circle K won't work for the Tesla MultiPass as of now, which is a shame because Circle K is one of the greatest charging networks in Norway. And even though it was in the navigation, it didn't work. So I hope Tesla can add more. And of course, I will keep everyone updated with which charge point operators are actually enrolled in this program, so that we can see how it expands as the years go by. Ionity. Okay, so that one didn't work. Let me just try another Ionity station just to make sure it's not something wrong with the charger right here. Circle K. Okay, so Ionity dial doesn't work. This is a legendary station, by the way, but it doesn't work. I tried 2 chargers, it didn't activate. So I thought Ionity was supposed to work, actually, which I find strange. Might be something with the hardware, not sure. Anyway, Circle K still doesn't work, but this one doesn't show in the navigation either. So let's continue on our journey. Okay, so I lost the audio with the recharge clips, but I'll just summarize everything with the recharge. Recharge did not show on the map, but it still worked, which is fantastic, as Recharge is actually the largest non-Tesla operator in Norway. So that's fantastic. That means that Recharge works with the Tesla MultiPass. Yeah, it worked perfectly fine, and we got an amazing charging speed at the Kempower hardware. I absolutely love the Kempower hardware as well, just wanted to mention that. But it worked with Recharge without it showing as a third-party charger on the map. So Ionity, that's kinda a bummer that it doesn't work on Ionity. It's the most important charging network in Europe aside from the Tesla Supercharger network, in my opinion. They have built out a fantastic charging network of high-voltage compatible chargers everywhere in Europe, so, and it works across all countries. I thought I heard that actually it worked on Ionity, so I'm kind of disappointed to see that it doesn't work on Ionity, at least here in Norway. So if you know if MultiPass works on Ionity in, for example, the Netherlands or in Germany or in Denmark, Sweden, whatever, please let me know in a comment down below, because I really wanted to work on Ionity. I actually tried a third charger over there at Dahl just to make sure that it wasn't the charger. So I tried 3 chargers and none of them actually worked. So let me know in the comments down below if you have heard that the MultiPass works on other Ionity chargers. We're taking the exit here at Cleavage, or Kløfta, which is a fun name, of course. And we are going to check out the Eon charger over here, because Eon is not that popular in Norway. There are a few sites in Norway. I would guess that there are under 20 sites in Norway that have Eon chargers, but I think it's important to test because Eon is more popular around Europe. Uno X. So Uno X works. That's fantastic. They do take card payment on all their chargers anyway, but it's usually faster actually with this one. And you get the receipt in the Tesla app. That's the benefit here. And they don't have any membership prices anyway, so why not use this one? Why use another provider? I assume if you use Elton or any other roaming provider, they take extra cut above the price here, which is actually displayed on the pylon, which is a unique thing with the Uno X network. There are others as well, but Uno X tries to do it at every station. Fantastic charging operator, not sponsored. I just love Uno X in Norway, and it works with Tesla MultiPass. Eon. Doesn't seem to be any correlation between showing the chargers on the map and being able to use the Tesla MultiPass, because Uno X worked and it didn't show as a third-party chargers that you could precondition to in the Tesla navigation. Eon here works kinda. It shows that this one is a valid authentication, but it doesn't start the charging. So not sure what's going on. Might be something wrong with the charger. Unfortunately, this site is very occupied, so I can't test anymore with Eon, unfortunately. But if you know of anyone that have tried this with Eon and been successful, let me know. Of course, the easiest is to use the Tesla supercharger network, of course, but it's not always the cheapest. There are actually other charging providers that are cheaper at some point, even with the Tesla discount, so that's important to note. Also, the Tesla supercharger network is very convenient due to the plug-in charge, and everything just works, and it's the fastest handshake ever. You save so much time not needing to authenticate at the charger, so that's fantastic. 7-second handshake time, that's faster than any other like plug-in charge solution in the world, so that's fantastic to see. Thank you so much for watching this MultiPass video. Would you use MultiPass? I think you should set it up as a backup solution, regardless if you think you are going to use it or not. Sometimes you are at a place that doesn't have the best coverage for Tesla superchargers, or they are full of rideshare drivers, and you need to charge somewhere else, and you can just tap your card and get on with your day. Thank you so much for watching this out of spec roaming video.